right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, Paul, thanks a lot, and thank you for tuning in to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. You can give me a call tonight. 412-575-2600 is the number. You can always tweet me at Richie Walsh. We're going to be talking about the Steelers have a big one tomorrow. Also, if you want to rehash the Pens game tonight, we'll be talking about that on the Sportscast. Also on here, big loss for the Penguins. Canadians scored the first 4 goals. Matt Murray only faced 29 shots, only made 24 saves. Now this is 2 disastrous starts for Matt Murray. He hasn't been great in goal, but the defense really hasn't helped him out. 6 goals on Thursday, 5 goals today. That's 11 goals through 2 games. That is not too good for Matt Murray in net for the Penguins right now, and you can't win too many games when you give up 5 goals. They gave up 6 goals in the last game, and the Pens have a pretty good offense. You didn't see that tonight. Only 22 shots on goal. They did score a goal. Riley Sheahan scored in the second period, but the game was over by then. The Canadians scored the first 4 goals. They go on to win 5-1. So wasn't a good day for the Penguins at PPG. They're back at PPG against Vegas on Thursday. Marc-Andre Fleury's in town, so the Pens fell to 1-1. Big day for Pitt today. Pitt did not do its normal Pitt thing, where they blow games. I thought for sure they were going to lose this game, especially what I had a problem with. They go on to win, by the way, in case you weren't watching today. They do win the game by a touchdown, scoring in overtime. It was a nice win for the Panthers. I think a really good win. I do have a problem with a couple things in this game. They don't have a quarterback. Kenny Pickett is not the answer right now. He maybe is next year, but they do have a great running game, and that's how you attack Syracuse. They give up chunks in the run game, yards per rush. Their defense isn't too good facing that. So I guess that was the game plan. But when Kenny Pickett's called upon to make something happen, I haven't seen too much so far this year. And what I was concerned about, so the Panthers are down by 3 late in this game. And they were content with trying to just tie the game up at 37 and send it in overtime. The first 11 plays were run plays. I understand you got Olesen and Hall, 2 really good running backs right now, both over 100 yards. That's the first time that happened since 2016. But 2 running backs, 192 for Olesen. Hall had 107 or something like that. So they had a lot of running yards today, not too many passing yards, but when you start going into the Wildcat formation, then I think that really says there's a problem with the quarterback. And right now, he's only a sophomore. Everyone at the beginning of the year on the show were comparing him to Tim Tebow, saying he's a Heisman Trophy winner. This guy, I mean, he's not the answer for the Pitt Panthers right now. Maybe it's time. And maybe you call me crazy right now. Maybe it's time just to see what Ricky Town can do, the backup quarterback. Pickett is the future. He can run, he can pass, and I just think he's young. He's got to get better, and maybe that's what this process is. It's his sophomore season, and this is what I kind of said at the beginning of the year, that I think he's going to have an up and down year. He's going to have some good games, and he's going to have some bad games. The kid's young, so maybe you stick with him, or do you want to see if Ricky Town can give you a spark? Right now, they know they have the run game. They just don't have a pass game to complement that right now. The Steelers are the exact opposite. But, my problem with the Pitt game today was Narduzzi said he wanted the running backs to win it, but they were content with running the ball, running the clock out, and kicking a 47-yarder. I mean, that's not a gimme. If Kessman misses that, they don't even go into overtime. Now, Kessman was a big story today, too, because he made a 54-yarder, a 55-yarder, and a 47-yarder to tie it. The 54 and a 55-yarder, 2 longest field goals by anyone in Heinz Field. The 55-yarder, now the longest. 54-yarder tied the guy from Old Dominion a couple years ago as the 2 longest. I think the longest pro kicker, 2 people did it. Chris Boswell, he has a 53-yarder, and so does Dan Bailey. So he's a big story today. But I would have liked to have seen them, try to march down there and win it. Win it in regulation. And they did not do that. They didn't even come close to doing that. They were running the ball effectively. Don't get me wrong. But a 47-yarder isn't a gimme. And on the 12th play of that drive, Kenny Pickett just threw it in the end zone and hoped that one of those guys were going to catch it. I mean, they couldn't have come up with a better play to get Kessman to like 25 yards or something like that. So I know he's been good. He has, 5 50-yard field goals, but I'm a little nervous when I see a guy lining up for a 47-yarder to tie the game. And you'll hear from Kessman coming up on KDKA-TV at 11 o'clock, and we had a chance to talk to him about the pressure of making field goals like that to tie it. And, he said that's what he's there for. That's what he likes to do. So it was a big win by Pitt, big win by West Virginia today. 4 touchdowns by Will Greer, also 4 turnovers, but they were playing Kansas, so they went on to win 38-22. That was a big win for them. So I would like to hear what you think about Pitt today, coming away with a 7-point win against Syracuse. They pretty much dominated that series. But, Syracuse is pretty good this year. Almost beat Clemson last week. They're 4-1, coming in here on a roll. But I think they might have been a little bit flat coming into this game because they should have beat Clemson last week. But they did score the first 14, and you got to like the way Pitt fought back. They didn't give up. They didn't fold when they were down 14-0, and the defense came up with some big plays. The interception to end the game, and also Quentin Virginis with the strip, and Dane Jackson picked it up and scored a touchdown. So it was a pretty nice win by Pitt. I can't be too critical, but I am critical when it comes down to the quarterback isn't making plays and the play calling at the end of the game to get it into overtime. I would have liked to have seen them at least try to win the game when they got close to field goal range. All right, taking your phone calls tonight, 412-575-2600 is the number. You can always tweet me at Richie Walsh. Back in a couple minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.